Yes, 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 yes. Indeed, indeed, indeed. We're here. We're here. We're here. And we are very grateful to be able to assist you with your questioning today. We say that we see many potential outcomes actually for tomorrow, but we know that all is significant and purposeful. We do not see in those potential outcomes the physical brutalization contact. This is a statement piece over what you could call a occupation. So there is much to be said about this, and we are more than happy to be able to give you our perspective of the event that you perceive will be happening tomorrow. What are the questions you would like us to explain?
What are the reasons why they want to be there tomorrow?
To be able to show their courage, to be able to show their unity, their passion. They want to be seen and heard because they are very scared and worried about what is happening to their friends and family, and to potentially themselves as well, as they've had reactions to something that they trusted. There is the time difference between what was happening in February to what's happening now. And so many people have actually awoken because they're having their own reactions, their own tragedies in terms of losing loved ones to this. So it's not just about the mandates. It's not just about the inoculations. There is so much to be said about it. Some are going to stand for their families and their loved ones who have died and their loved ones who are sick. And so they are aware that even if they just stand in that place and feel the connection of each other, that it won't change what has happened to their family and friends. But they want to do something. They need to do something. And them being there, being seen, being heard is something. And they're so sick of not being able to do anything that they are wanting to be a part of this, to acknowledge, to be seen and counted. So this is their opportunity to do that. It's not, there's so much emotions that can be said about each individual person's purpose for being there. So we can only give you a summary from all of the aspects, but we want to talk and share with you the motivations of people going there, to be connected, to feel their families, to feel like they are standing up for something that they believe in. They are committed to what they believe in, what they're scared about. They are wanting prevention so no one else can feel the pain and the loss. There is so much that they are saying and feeling. It comes from a place of desperation. They are scared that they are not seen and heard. And when they come together in unity to be a part of something bigger than themselves, it gives them great comfort, even in times of great sorrow.
Okay, can we send healing and love and light from all of our hearts and the collective to them for tomorrow, and let them know that we're there with them?
Yes, we are raising the frequency vibrations of the area. Many have to face their fears and return. They have forgotten the beauty and the connection of unity. They are reminding themselves of how scared they were. And they have to show them that they have not been broken. You cannot break their moral compasses. You cannot keep them scared. And why they are so scared, because they don't want to be hurt. They don't want to see others getting hurt, because complying makes people hurt. So there is so much, and we want to raise the frequency vibrations of the land to be able to make people feel instantly comfortable and protected and unity. And whatever happens to their bodies, their minds and their souls and their hearts are unbreakable.
That's beautiful. So how is this going to empower humanity? How is it going to empower these souls?
They're going to have reconnections again. They will know that this is a limited experience, and so they'll be more engaging in sharing their social media accounts, their groups that they follow, who they are connected in with. And so it's an underground, on the ground community, and it will be forming. There will be more people that haven't explored certain groups that they will be merged into. So family members will be filling into the frequency of each other as well. And so there will be exchanges of names, phone numbers, physical groups. And so it is about bringing people together to unify their experience together. So when they go home, that will be spread around the country. And so it is about having a witness to seeing the agenda, or true agenda and true purpose and significance of messages of all of those who are going there with pure intentions, with pure integrity, to support those who can no longer support themselves, through being able to have their own jobs, to be able to have their own health, because their jobs have been taken away, and for some their health have been taken away, and for some their loved ones have been taken away through exit points.
Is there any kind of deeper healing behind this, under this? Do we need to look further afield than what we are there for tomorrow?
Yes, it's about everyone who's aware of the events tomorrow having an anxious anticipation of what is to come. Will their own belief systems be once again ridiculed and mocked and belittled? Will this be able to inspire and empower and trigger and empower others to realize that there is something there? There is more people speaking up and standing their truth than there was before. The world is watching. The world of those who know the truth in terms of the 3D agenda. They are watching. They are seeing all. We want to say, usually with these events, there is a moment or a few moments that gets cast in history in your collective memory. There will be events that occur to show and highlight. So it's the highlighting experiences. We want to say there is going to be, for those who are there, many personal highlighting experiences, but for those who are at home thinking about the journey, the traveling, the community, the connections, those standing up for our country, which is really standing up for the rest of the world who has been manipulated. There's so many layers. We're distracting ourselves. We apologize, because there is information we want to share with you about this, because it's so multi-layered. While the world's going through this experience of being mandated and conformed, there's been some conformativity. There's many people who have been trying to be forced upon to comply. And this has made people conform to things that actually don't serve them. But this is purposeful for them to have the opportunity to choose whether they want to comply or not. for those people who are watching who are aware of what's happening tomorrow, they have this worry and concern that they will have to see once again high tension dramatics, conflict, brutality. And so it's an emotional roller coaster to prepare yourself for what can occur. We see people wanting to watch the events tomorrow to be rest assured that those who speak and stand their truth will be safe and respected and not be harassed and brutally attacked. There is so much emotion and anxious anticipation for the event. People don't even have this hope anymore that it's going to change the systems because they realize the systems are corrupted. And so it is about still knowing that you can step up, travel, connect, find your communities, and still know that you're in a broken system. But instead of just complying and allowing it to unfold as it needs to, you've still got the drive to be seen, to be shown that this is not just going unnoticed, that people are doing something actively to get the attention of the rest of the country and through and beyond. And so we are looking at the other healing, cleansing experiences, the land itself. We're saying New Zealand does not come together. For those who are living in this country, you do not come together unless there is time of great tragedy. You're all independent, busy with your own lives, trusting everyone's on their own journey and path. And you do not come together until there is such bigger events as sports. For some, it's sports. And to be patriotic to your country, because you know that for some sports you are top of the world. You have top quality as sportsmen. You feel so proud being first. You have pride in your patriotism that a New Zealander was the first man to climb Everest. You have pride that you were the first country to give women the vote. You have so much history of what New Zealand has done to put itself on the map. And there is so many things that you all collectively have pride for. You do love your country. You have pride in it. You know it is beautiful. You know that Kiwis can do anything when they put their minds to it. And so, you know, from tragedies, everyone wants to help and support and take their shirts off their backs to be able to help others. And there have been some natural disasters that you call natural disasters that have occurred to encourage and inspire people to come together to be able to feel into what's happening and why. This is not a war. But when wars occurred, the people who are on this land, in this country, in this region, all had to come together. They had to find that they were all in the same boat. They all had to ration their food and be mindful and respect the fact that they were in a situation where they were conditioned to comply to food rationings, to people having to be of service, to go and fight wars in foreign countries, missing family members. There's so much. The vehicle kept wondering why we gave her the sense of World War I, World War II, and how this could even relate to it. We're saying it's the reverse. People who lost loved ones in the war had to soldier on, and they had to except everyone was losing someone from the war. You're not special. Your pain is not irrelevant. And so it was the mentality to suck it up. They fought for their country. That is an honor in itself. And you have to continue on because the state of the world demands that you continue on and soldier on, keep calm and carry on. Do not feel your feelings. Do not feel your pain. You certainly don't do it together. You do it in private if you must be so weak. Your country deserves you to be strong. This is the message that was recycled and pushed and pressured upon. And those who did survive, who came home, you do not share your stories. You do not commit yourself to conversating to each other. It's unspeakable. You do not share what you did. You hide it away. You suck up your trauma and you carry on because you are lucky that you survived when others did not. And it is about the manipulation, the control to disconnect you from feeling your emotions. And so many will go tomorrow to feel their emotions, to feel scared, to feel worried, to feel angry. They're going to feel, and they're going to feel as a collective. And it's the full range of emotions. And people who know about the event are also feeling the full range of emotions. But it is about allowing oneself to express and feel. There is so much to be said about the traumas that you carry from your pasts that you were not allowed to feel, that you would be suddenly non-patriotic if you felt an emotion. This is a healing. This is a collective healing. There is so much energy in allowing yourself to feel and be supported and to be looked at with compassion when you have the tears running down your faces, when you hold each other's hands so tight because you are afraid. And it's about empowering yourself after those events and after that experience. It is empowering, and it will be empowering, but not for the things you assume. The mandates, the laws will not change because of an event for a day. But your energy, your healing, and your upliftment is the success of the experience. So for those people who cannot see the significance, it is because you are seeking success in other areas.
Thank you for raising the vibration of those beautiful souls tomorrow. I'd like to know, how will they be greeted? Will they be greeted with more compassion? Is this something that, well, this is something that needs to be done? And will this help with the collective by raising more awareness to collective?
It will always be an experience that can only raise the collective's consciousness experience, because everything is being added onto. And so even if it could be a worst case scenario and more people were physically harmed and more people were arrested, we see it still being a step forward in growth as more people will see the actual events that take place. If you are watching just for one day, it is easier to see the full dishonesty that the media would portray. And so there's going to be more people with their videos, and they are wanting to capture proof that peaceful people have been preyed and attacked upon by a corrupt system. And so everything is going to be empowering, even though you may perceive it as being tragic and traumatic. It's moving through the trauma together to support each other, to feel the feelings. We are wanting people to be traumatized so they can learn how to empower themselves through that trauma. And once you empower yourself through that trauma, you actually heal yourself from trauma, not just the trauma from today or tomorrow or this lifetime. You learn how to heal from trauma from all the other lifetimes you've ever lived. You can only heal emotionally, physically, at soul level, in a 3D planet, those experiences that you need to heal. When we are meaning to say, in a 3D planet, when you have trauma, it is best to come back to a 3D planet to overcome that trauma. It doesn't need to be in the same lifetime. We are saying traumatic experiences will be healed from and overcome from, which aren't even in this lifetime. And so when you explore at soul level what they're actually healing and experiencing and overcoming and growing from, that is the significance. That is the empowerment. That is the upgrading. That is significantly purposeful to heal from trauma, which may not even be created on this land in this lifetime now. So it is triggering people to feel the full range of emotions that could be very possible. We're saying you don't need to physically experience trauma tomorrow to be able to put yourself in that imaginary situation just for a brief second to think, what if I did experience trauma tomorrow, for you to then be able to overcome it. And so even that in itself can release you from having the perspective that even if you had trauma for one event, you would be able to empower yourselves through it. It wouldn't kill you. It would impact you, but it would be an experience that you can have faith and trust that you will overcome. That people are putting themselves in the position of being maybe exposed to trauma, and just having to prepare themselves for that can actually heal them from the trauma that they've had in other lifetimes. And we're saying it's very complicated for us to express because we're showing the vehicle many different individual experiences which is being healed, not even for people that are going, but the people who are in fear and afraid for those who are attending, those people who know that they will be watching it online or hear about it later in that day. They have angst for what could happen. That is making people compassionate and be unconditionally loving towards strangers and each other. That is significant.
With these souls going there tomorrow, is there something to do with healing the land, healing our land, that's healing Gaia in this process?
It is about releasing the density and honoring the human experience. You cannot heal the land. You can shift the density around, but this land is not possible to be healed at this point. It is about honoring humans, the beings here. Focusing on Gaia is kind and it's compassionate, but humans cannot change what's happened to Gaia. It is not possible anymore, nor really was it. The density is beyond shifting at that point.
Thank you.
It's about grounding into and leaving that density, that fear. Because when you are worried that you could be experiencing trauma and you leave after you haven't, it will be a release. Everyone has expectations and anticipations that is worst case worry, fear scenarios. They don't even know who to trust in some regards, because they could see the infiltration from many other groups coming in. And so everyone has a valuable amount of worry and concern, apprehension. They will be able to leave that behind, releasing all that no longer serves them.
So by them coming together tomorrow, it's going to allow new people to come in who are suffering and who are feeling all these emotions, to heal and to know that they're not alone through this, to awaken and make more people aware that they're not alone.
Yes, it will also trigger them to feel genuine feelings of what's really going on for them. So there would be a natural wave of anger, and they're going to be experiencing a lot of emotion, and it's going to be very heightened, but also very, because the high frequency of the collectives who are there physically will support them. They will just find these waves of emotion that come and then get released. And so it's very significant physically being there, but also just thinking about being there energetically, you'll absorb some of that as well. And so we're saying, when you are thinking about this event and when you're watching this event, it's about trusting that those people will be having to intensely look and feel at all of the range of emotions to be able to help identify with what's going on for them. Communicating with each other, sharing their feelings and thoughts about it will be so cathartic and quite healing, and quite a therapy to share with a complete stranger, potentially, your biggest worries and frustrations. This is going to be part of how they get seen and heard. They may not necessarily get seen and heard by the establishments, but they will feel seen and heard by the individual conversations that they have.
So for those who can't be there tomorrow, is there anything that we can do as a collective to help raise the vibration and be with them in spirit tomorrow?
Yes, when you're thinking about it, allow yourself to have your natural thoughts and feelings about it. But when you overcome your worries, concerns, even ridicule or even dismissal, whatever you're feeling about it, honor it, acknowledge it. And then when you go back and think about it again, please send love. Please send integrity and intentions of empowerment. Learn your lessons. Learn your lessons, feel your feelings, share. Don't hold back your feelings. Don't hold back your words. Be afraid if you are afraid. Own it and realize that you're not ridiculed or laughed because you've got tears running down your face. Feel the love of others. Feel the compassion of others. Be connecting with others in all sincerity. Do not be brave if you are feeling the feelings that do not associate with feeling brave. If you do feel brave, support others who are needing your strength, who are needing your hand holding.
Thank you. Is there anything else that you would like us to hear right now?
Everything is unfolding as it needs to push and trigger and force people to feel the feelings. It is about those experiences that you cannot get in other lifetimes. It's a saturation. The emotions are so intensely saturated with so much extra energy and feelings. They're undeniable. And so you must acknowledge them. Stop denying your own feelings, your own true feelings. This is the time to recognize your own feelings and share with each other and love each other's experiences without judgment and honoring what they're feeling. Communicate with each other. You're still so unwilling to engage in people's experiences. You're all trying to be seen, understood, and heard, and yet you're not even trying to engage in conversation. We want you to reflect on this. There is nothing to limit or block or dismiss or hide. All emotions are significant and purposeful and must be honored. That is part of you growing and empowering yourself. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, there's so much emotions. I'm out, by the way. Hi. Oh, it's like they just dropped the mic. They're like, we're out.
Yeah, that was intense.
Oh my gosh. I felt like they were screaming in some parts, but it was like the intense emotion.
Mm,
Oh.
yeah, I can feel it. Mm. It's hard not to get lost in that.
I'll have to listen back to it because it did sound like there was a connection between it's the wars and going to war and not
Yeah,
allowing yourself to feel the range of emotions with being at war.
yeah. I think that came through really well. That was just amazing. You could feel all the feelings in that, which was pretty mind blowing.
How freaking traumatizing living
Yeah.
in like I don't know much of the history, and
Mm,
it is a lot that's there still of having to comply to wartime
absolutely.
and being in wartime.
Yeah.
I don't
But
think
no,
I don't think I can even comprehend what that would be like. I mean, I can
I
imagine.
can't either, knowing why wars were created, like it just, oh my gosh, it hurts so much. Like to think that, you know, souls went through all of that and for greed and role, and it's just, oh my God.
Sometimes on planet Earth,
Wow.
that whole what they were showing me of the aspects of your grief in situations is insignificant because everyone's going through, and it was that
Yeah.
if you have a problem with this way of life, you're not patriotic. It's like that's an intensive peer pressure.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's the part where is knowing that, that each individual soul is going through that. But I think from that point is actually people needing to come together to feel that together as well as separately, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Being able to heal through all of that together, rather than people feeling like they're on their own, having to deal with it. I mean, yes, we have things we need to deal on our own, but it's okay to have, to work through things together as well. Because that created a lot of isolation, those wars.
Like it seems, yeah, that isolation of everyone coming back, being a lucky one and coming back and not
Yeah,
allowing yourself to be even traumatized. And it was like
yeah,
it was like whatever was expected upon them is like, if you're gonna have an emotion, do it on your do it in the privacy of your own home. Don't you dare do it publicly. Don't you dare share.
basically they were just used as
Oh.
pawns in their game. So basically, I mean, yes, obviously they meant to go through it, but It's quite horrific what souls have been put through.
I can, like, now I feel like I can see the correlation. We're not in a war, but there is definitely, you
Yeah,
know, there's definitely, we're not allowed to talk about,
yeah.
we're not allowed to talk about the injuries from the
It's the
inoculations.
same thing. It really is the same thing. It really is. I mean, look at all the people that have been injured and silenced or given money to be silenced. It's absolutely horrific, and it's no different. It's absolutely no different than going through a war. We're going through a war.
I I really can see that now. It's quite a wow. Yeah, it's we're
Yeah,
losing, people are
been,
losing jobs and houses and loved ones and
mm,
businesses and your way of life, and you know
and a family is huge because you're actually being silenced by your own family, your own partners. That's horrific. That's
yeah.
that's
Oh,
even more of an isolation than what a war was, where at least when you went through that war, you could talk to your partner or you could talk to your family. I think that's as far as it went. And you got, badges and medals for it. So you were kind of like, well, we're going to give you a badge and a medal. So then you're going to feel better, whereas that's not the way it should have been. So maybe you're right with the wars, is that what we're going through now is correcting that, is actually basically correcting what had happened then, and we're going through the same thing, but we're actually going through it worse than that. I'm not saying everyone's situations are different, but as a whole, the way I see it is that, we can't get a badge and we can't get a medal to say, well, here you go. We want this to stop. We
well,
don't want this.
could you say that the badge of complying is the masks?
No, no, I think that's the other way around. I think that we, as the people who have chosen the way, the path that we've chosen, it's almost like they are giving us, so they haven't given us anything actually. They just keep trying to isolate, trying to
Yeah, that's
basically break down as much as possible. Yeah, I think you're right. You're, in a way, you've got, they're putting that over your face. There's numerous reasons why. I suppose that is a type of silencing, isn't it, where you're, covering your mouth. So
they're
interesting.
choosing. Yeah, we're choosing. Are we going to be silent or are we not?
Yeah, take
And
them off. Yeah.
I mean, I definitely see, when I see people with masks, I don't feel like they're approachable, really.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, they're blocking their own voice out by doing that as well. I mean,
Well, to be honest, my friend, those people who do wear masks and fully
mm,
comply, I'm kind of glad that they are blocking their voices, because I just don't know if I want to hear it.
no, you're right. No, you're so right. You're so right. You're so right. Yeah, you're right.
With
Oh
much
my God.
love, you can shut
Times
up.
we, yeah, the times that we're in. Oh my gosh. Never, never before, never again.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't, yeah, for the life of me, I just couldn't understand the correlation between the World War I, World War II, and
Yeah.
this event. I'll have to listen
Yeah.
back to that session. Anyway, sorry, I'll stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'll stop recording
Yeah.
now.